Peace. In this build, I'm going to go over food, clothing, and shelter and how it has progressed over the times to nowadays. And these are three key proponents that you need to live, survive. So again, we got food, clothing, and shelter. Food, right? So food is nourishment, gives you energy. It gives you fuel to move this machine that we call the body. And that's on the base case level. That's food. Nourishment, energy, fuel to move the body. And of course, also for the functions of your organs, your heart, and all that good stuff in the inner workings of this machine that we call our body. So that's food. Clothing. Clothing is to have yourself presentable, right? It's to shield you from the elements on a real minute level. It is to show some civility and to show some decency within the civilized world, which it is accustomed to clothing yourself to be presentable, and especially not to show, no lewdness in public. So that's clothing on a real minute level. Then you get shelter. So shelter is something that houses you, right? And it keeps you shielded away from the elements, the snow, the cold, the rain, the heat. Also, it protects you from predators, right? Protects you from predators. That's shelter. Food, clothing, and shelter. On a basic level, the primal instincts, this is what you need. Now you fast forward to nowadays. Nowadays, the food, clothing, and shelter is magnified to this whole expensive and luxurious way of life. All for naught, all for show, for ego, vanity, and to show that you have it, or to simply put, just to live a good quality of life. Debatable, but let's go with that as well, right? You want to live a good quality of life. You need the best, so you pay a little extra for food, clothing, and shelter. So instead of food for nourishment, for energy, and to get fuel into this machine we call the body, we want the best food. Filet mignon. We want the lobster, the Nobles. Some of y'all cats even want the caviar, right? You want the best food. Just don't want food. You want the best food, the leanest meats, right? So that is when it's magnified to be more than what you need for nourishment, right? So then you go to clothing. Same premise. You're not looking for clothing, pants, shirt, skirt, dress, blouse, sweater, jacket. No. You need the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, right? You need the expensive designer clothes to make a statement, to let everybody know that you the shit when you come through, right? That you're not broke. You're not like everybody else. You stand out for various reasons. I may be giving it some negative connotations, but it's cool, right? And I'm going to say the same reiteration that everybody say, I like nice shit too, so I understand it. But let me continue building. So that's clothing. Then you get to shelter. It's not just any shelter now. Also, you must include transportation nowadays. shelter and transportation. Because you can't be in any car. You got to be in something foreign, something that costs six figures, something that says, I'm the shit. I'm not anybody. I need to make a statement when I pull up. And my house. My house has to be a condo. It has to be something off the beach or up in the hills somewhere, right? Because the fact of the matter is, most people ain't even there with no crazy house. Houses is crazy right now, so we're not going to even go there. But still, your condo, your apartment, right? Your townhouse, it has to be immaculate. And inside, you got all the gadgets. You know, you got all the Apples, you got all the Google, you got everything up in your joint, right? Your joint is laid out, it's plush. So that's shelter. So now that we got the basis of food, clothing, and shelter, then and now, you must be able to accumulate the funds to support that type of lifestyle. It's not the rich mouth, poor pocket. It's not the champagne dreams and beer pockets, right? Nah, you need the money to support that type of lifestyle. And with this economy and employment, how it's going right now, it's money out here. It's absolutely money. But the times are changing, and it's not like it was yesterday. The times is changing. It is absolutely money out here. That's the first thing that you have to know. For food, clothing, and shelter. It's money out here. They printed a gang of money. The money is out here. You provide a service, you will be compensated for that service. Whether you're going to work or whether you're working for yourself, the compensation is the same in terms of you are an independent contractor when you go to work. I know by definition you're not an independent contractor, but that is the mind frame that you need to have. You're providing a service that you're getting paid for. All right. The money is out here. Food, clothing, and shelter. Nothing says that you need to be extravagant in your food, clothing, and shelter. You can have nice things. You don't have to go above and beyond. You don't have to be a minimalist where you don't have shit, right? You don't have to be that neither. But you, as an individual, need to find your balance and to find out where you are satisfied and satiated in terms of your worldly possessions. If you're living for the Joneses, you're going to always be on the hamster wheel running, right? If you're checking what everybody else got going on, you're going to always be on something else. And again, the base case is food, clothing, and shelter. And people that don't have shelter, you're in a better position than they are. Some people wear the same clothes every day, right? And some people have an abundance of food in their kitchen and some don't. So things could always be worse. But in this capitalistic society, we always look for more. But then you got to ask yourself, like, more in what way though? Do I gain more worldly possessions or do I gain more experiences in the world? The shit get deep. If you do the knowledge and you look up people that unfortunately was on a deathbed, they don't give a shit about their worldly possessions. They think about the experiences and the memories that they had, what they should have done, or what they even did. That's what they think about. Right? So this isn't a build to knock, worldly possessions and having nice things. Absolutely do that. Because, right, we here, right? We got one shot at this joint and we have to live. But once you make the possessions your overall goal in your happiness, then you're doomed to fail. So back in the days when the stock market crashed, I think the 20s or 30s, whatever, some of them dudes was committing suicide, jumping out of high-rise apartments and whatnot. It was the possessions. They linked themselves to the money and the possessions. Now you think that their family would have rather have the possessions or have them? I bet some of you crazy motherfuckers would think that they would have rather had the possessions. But if you own that, then you own something totally different. Because we all link to our natural behavior and to be social, to be a family-oriented people, right? And to be in tune with nature, right? So as above is below. I know this sounds a little woo-woo, but all of this shit is a big ecosystem that all works in unison. And once you start deviating from that ecosystem, you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm telling you, history repeats itself. Only thing you have to do is look throughout history and you'll see history repeating itself with rich people or people that was chasing money. You know, you get these people that was with these scams, that was politicians and lawyers and shit like that, and getting all this time, right? Going to jail. Old, 40, 50 years old, then go to jail for like 10 or 15 years. Man, you done took a chunk of the rest of your life out. You know, if you 50, you know, let's say you live till you 75. You got 25 summers. You got 25 holidays, 25 birthdays, right? 25 birthdays with your kids, 25 winters. And you gonna go to jail for like 10 and 15 years? Man, is you out your mind? Don't get caught up on the worldly possessions. Find the balance. The balance to where you have enough and you also experience enough. That's my suggestion anyway on this build about food, clothing, and shelter. Back then to now. Find balance, man. You gotta have that equality. That's an absolute must. The balance is a must. History all spoke about balance. Come from ancient times to now. It all spoke about balance. And that's what I'm saying. History repeats itself, and they was in tune. They was in tune with everything. That's big, man. If you don't believe that, then shit. I don't know, man. Tell me how it work out for you the next 10 years, man. If you don't think like the circadian rhythm, like all this shit is real, man. It's real. That's the build, man. I dropped another one. Food, clothing, and shelter. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave that comment, man. Let me know what your thoughts is. Let me know if you hip to balance. Let me know if you hip to how the circadian rhythm play on your mental and on your diet and on your health, man. Let me know if you know anything about that. It's the video, man. Peace.